Hargreaves, chance for Torquay! Chris Hargreaves, the captain! If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells!
Hello and welcome to part 2 of this week's Gull'S Eye View. Right, we're going to go through the questions that we've asked. So the first one, as things stand right now with Gary, we've scored at his disposal. Are you confident that the Gull'S can remain as a National League club next season, or does the National League South beckon? 70% of you said no, see you at Taunton, and then 30% said yes, we'll stay up. What were your thoughts? My thoughts were going down with the squad.
Not with what we've got at the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Don,
not the question, is it?
Yeah, isn't it? With a squad at its disposal. Let me read it again.
Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, it's hard to see us staying up at the moment, and there's hope, but you'd have to lean towards no, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I think there's just way too many. If we start like a Ness, maybe be okay, but you can't just have half a good defense and half a shambles, right?
You just look at the squad and think it needs another 5 or 6. It needs almost half a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 wins all season. That speaks for itself.
A few of the replies, Martin. This team's going down because it's stayed down for quite a while. The recruitment's been bloody awful, and the tactics and formation aside, along with its management, been bloody awful too. A tired management team that's sadly incapable of turning the season around. I agree. It's looking like that. Offline blog, hello, says with the squad at his disposal currently, and are you confident TFC can remain a National League club? Are 2 very different questions. I have my views, and I will see come to the end whether I am right or not. Keeping your cards to your chest there. Well done. Apart from the fact you're on a blog where it means you are.
Thanks for that reply.
Yeah, I should have actually done that before. Cheers, mate. Okay, Dan from Torquay says
we can cut that one out.
No. So I think the team have got better with the arrival of Edison Wayne. Jarvis coming back has helped also, but we still need 3 or 4 more players that can start the quality of that quality. If we get that, when we stay up for sure. If not, we're going down still with Gary Johnson and Aaron Downs heart emojis. I butchered that one because I'm tired, but he basically said if you need translation, is we need 3 or 4 more better players. Which, yeah, I agree. Ash says, I see no way other than down. This is unless a huge job is done in January with recruitment. However, taking into account recent signings, I'm not very hopeful. Even by then, we could tell it's truly be in the mud. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of you reply this way, isn't it? Thank you so much. And such an obvious lack of quality all over the fields. We can't stay up just on effort. We have got no control on the game. Big point. Yesterday's game was there for taking. The second half we blew it. We're going down afraid unless some big changes happen. Thank you for all of you that have responded as well. And there's more. There's a lot more. 3 or 4 wins has been fortunate. I agree. There's some quality in the group of players, but I think we see it for about 5 minutes in every game. I can't see relegation. I agree. I always remember that Alan Neil 5 minutes. Remember the first 5 minutes of a game, we'd be like, oh, looking good here, and then we'd be terrible. Or the last 5 minutes. Rachel says, I think Andrews was the marquee signing. That sums up the season.
That's very to a point for Rachel, isn't it?
Yeah, that is to the point, Rachel, this week. Thank you. Clive says it's nowhere near impossible, but trying to stay out without genuine strengthening the squad, which may not be cheap, especially if we pay off some of the poorest players, is hugely dangerous. Great. And else says we're not staying up. Anyone who has been seeing us in the last 20 years has seen this season a half a dozen times. This is exactly what a relegation side looks like, and exactly how the matches go. I've been saying this for quite about a month now. Yeah. Even like the wins are like the wins of a relegation team. And I'll tell you what else. We're not coming straight back up either. Yeah, because we don't know what you're going to find Gary Johnson to suddenly turn it around. You know, the National League South has got a bit, it's nowhere near as tough as the North because of location and the strength teams there. But
trust me, I've seen a few National League South games this season. It's not as easy. There's quite a few full-time teams.
League, isn't it?
We can't just give Woking like a 10-game head start this year. I hope for the best.
There's a few full-time clubs in the National League South now. If they don't go up this season, then my goodness, it's going to be difficult if we do go down.
Yeah. Craig says, I just don't see how the squad is good enough to stay up. 4 wins all season, 1 step forward and 2 steps back constantly, as you've said tonight, Tom. Or you said 10
being
steps
kind.
back. Yeah. People keep saying, oh, well, we played well for 20-minute spells this weekend out, but we're still losing these games. And that is the point. When you get relegated, you always go, oh, we played well for 20 minutes for this game. Maybe the next game.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're giving effort and we're making hay for 20 minutes, but we can't do it for more than that, can we?
Tom says now we're going down.
There, Tom, and we've said that, haven't we, for much of the season.
Yeah.
To the point. Alan says, but is anyone in the club able to identify them? Luke says, this is a Halifax. I think you do Halifax Pub. Luke Welsh, I think it's a Halifax one. Yeah,
he does the Halifax Pub.
Yeah, he's very good as well. You lack quality and confidence. That's been it, kindly. The positives are you took your chances and gave 100%. Then again, you don't particularly create many. This is a great addition to give you some experience, but it wasn't enough. Sad to see it's not looking good for you guys. Danny,
watch his podcast, by the way. Does a great job, Luke.
He does a great job. I've seen little clips of him around. Danny says, well, we've had 2 games with sides around us and we've got a point from both of them, Gateshead and Malden. This alone doesn't make for good readings, and now on top of the teams around us, we're actually being good players that will make them stronger. Rachel again says it comes down to awful recruitment and on a fair few occasions, lack of tactical nous. We can't hold a defensive line. We're no capable fullbacks, and midfielder needs 3 too many touches. I do like Goodwin. Although Jarvis was well marked today, he has some quality too. Pete says we need 3 or 4 new signings to give us hope. That won't happen. We are going down. Footster back again. So did Osborne do enough to help and try and convince these so-called marquee players to come to the club? And is that why we are now? It's going to be a long, hard slog for the rest of the season. 2 more. Jason says Scunthorpe and winning 7 from 23. So you are 3 from the 4 now in reality. And another account says, hope you are staying up as long as we do as well. Don't deserve to be in the National League South with the size of your club. Thank you very much.
Did I really hear marquee signings mentioned? Oh my goodness.
And thank you for 400 votes. From our side, there's a positive. We found that if you tweet something directly after a game, not 2 days later, then you get more votes and input, and I have to read more. Thank you.
Well done, Sam. Well done.
They were just blurring by the end of it. I'm just seeing blurred white writing.
Some good comment.
Very good comments there. Thank you so much to all of you.
Yeah, it's very interesting though. 3 out of 10 think with what we've got, we're going to stay up. It's interesting. That seems to be sort of the split amongst the fan base constantly, at least from the votes we've done in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think we need 5 or 6, like you say, Tom, but we need those players in crucial areas, don't we? If Ace is going to be off, we need a central midfielder.
The squad needs 5 or 6 improvements. The first team, maybe.
The squad, ideally, you'd have 5 or 6, but
it can't be lonely.
If you could get a good centre back alongside Mark Ellis, because I don't think we can rely on Marshall, can we, at centre back? And if you get a replacement Racer Hall, you'd be halfway there, wouldn't you? I mean, that would give you so much more strength and confidence, I think. But can you find these players? We can't. We haven't found them for the last 1.5 years, have we? So
I don't have confidence that we can. I mean, the owners just again continued radio silence. There needs to be some transparency between the owners and the fans.
There needs to be less setbacks like losing to Oldham as well.
Oh, what a ridiculous statement. And now we've got 2 cup finals against Yeovil bloody Town.
After the Cheltenham game.
Unfortunately, the post-match interviews have become like party political broadcasts, haven't they? Because, they're just throwing up questions and answers.
I don't want
tailored to sort of say that Torquay aren't really in trouble. It's just sort of
Gary, we didn't deserve to lose that one, did we? Oh, it's okay. Just a little setback.
We were unlucky. Things could have gone our way. I mean, And that there is partly truth in that, but we can't keep saying it week in, week out. But he's not answerable to anybody, is he?
No.
He's the kingpin, Gary, and that's it.
And probably if you're
The local press don't want to question him. The
because
Torbay
if you
News
do, he
haven't.
probably won't talk to you again because we don't really the local press don't really have that kind of. I don't know,
The Torbay Weekly or whatever.
I don't know. That's not my place to comment, but it's just how I guess it seems that they need him more than.
The Torbay Weekly have him as a columnist, don't they? So they don't want to ruffle his feathers. The Herald Express didn't do any of that, so he can kind of ride over it all, can't he, with the local press? And that's it's just frustrating, isn't it?
It's just sums up the club in general.
Yeah.
Be more like Mark White. That's what I say.
Oh mate, I'm a couple episodes behind with the Dorking series actually. Just go and support Dorking, honestly. Be more like Mark White.
They're getting dragged in. They're getting dragged into it though.
Oh, does that mean they'll be in our league next season? If they go, it depends on. Yeah,
they're not far above the relegation place.
I do with all the injured. I know they seem to do all right with Rutherford gone. Oh well. I can see Mark White next season again if they go down with us.
That's the only thing for us. We only have to win a few games, but we've got to win. There's not that many points.
No, we've got to get mid-table form because the other teams will pick up. There's always one like a Dorking that will slide in. Oldham's picking up at some point. I still won't write.
Oldham will pick up.
They look dreadful.
Yeah,
but a Scunthorpe, I'm not that confident on it all, to be fair. But
everyone around us looks like they're going to pick up. And
I think we do when they play ours, because
we just look like we're going to be static for the rest of the season.
Yeovil picked up as well, haven't they?
They have. They're unbeaten in the last 5 or 6. So
they've got a new manager, and they found a sort of formula, haven't they? Yeovil they've picked up, but whether that'll last is another thing.
Having a manager that sets the team up properly, having players actually improve a bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's much more we can add.
We've got one more question, haven't we, Samson?
Oh yeah, there's a lot more we can add. Good. I'm glad you realised that. I was already making the graphics. One thing I will say, FA Trophy, because this will probably be our last episode until Christmas. Because if you want to talk a whole 2 episodes about the game in the FA Trophy, then you can host.
Well, that's not very good.
I hope you've asked Galaxy TQ about that.
No, we'll do a little Christmas special. Don't worry, we'll do a little Christmas special for everyone. We've got a Christmas special planned.
Yes.
We'll see what we can do in that sense. But no, so we'll talk about FA Trophy. Don't play Ellis and Moxie. Don't get them injured. Thank you. Try and win, but don't get any stupid injuries before Yeovil.
He usually plays a strong team, doesn't he? So I think he'll play him.
You need to be winning momentum. I get that argument. And it's a little bit.
I don't think we have a choice in the matter, do we? I think he's going to have to play his strongest team available.
You could always bring Ali and Tomlinson in, I guess, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I guess. I mean, to be honest, FA Trophy, don't give a toss what happens, but it feels like we have to win that just to get a little bit of, try and get a bit of form going.
Yeah,
but
I think that's what he'll think. I don't think he'll want to lose that when he'll play his strongest team, I think.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Chippenham. But yes.
Oh my God, loads of people have replied to the comments again. I mean, great. Thank you so much for all these things we got read. All right, girls, I have question 2. What position would it be your priority to strengthen the score going to the second half of the season? 39% have said centre-back, 36% have said midfield, 14% right back, and 10% centre forward. 160.
We didn't give all of them as a choice, did we? That was.
I don't think you can.
Smart thinking there, Tom.
Yeah.
Mark says.
Good thing you're the brains of the organisation here, Don.
Yeah. Mark says Gary Johnson has to figure out how he wants to play. The Oldham game was a perfect example. Total change between the halves. Barnett was much the same. Until he gets that clear, I'm not sure how much difference personnel is going to make. I do agree with that as well. Clive says, I pick midfield, but between that and centre back is a bit like deciding whether to plug them. That's just how one port on the starboard or thinking shit. Sense answer is both now. That's great.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Not wrong at all. Rachel says this team needs a revamp from coaching to potentially 5 or 6 players to strengthen the seat. 5 or 6, Dom, not 4 or 5, 5 or 6.
Rachel knows. Rachel knows.
We're woefully short in strength at the back, both centre back and full backs. Both desperately need some flow in the middle. Gary Johnson says goals are plenty to Karandrew. Isn't he injured again? Says come back Niarte. But hey, I believe in Father Christmas. Thank you, Rachel. Why is I get in context now? I didn't read you. You set up very good justice there. Anyway, Steve says, why is the manager not on the list? Ooh.
Well, we've had votes in the past.
I know.
We've done Gary out to death a little bit recently. So,
but I see what he means. Matt says we need a new goalkeeper, a new defender, a new stronghold midfielder. And he says, I still think we need a keeper. I'm sorry. It's not the priority. We've got many other issues, but
if we wanted to be a top 6 team, you'd have a new goalkeeper, wouldn't you?
I agree.
Where we were,
I think Halstead has been out of form since he came back from his injury. I don't think he's good enough, but then the weekend he was good. So very good, in fact. He's had a couple of right games. He's not been bad.
With our defence, it's a miracle that he's kept the scores relatively respectable.
I think that's a little bit harsh, but there's been a few goals that have been like, come on now. But when
I've said it all season. I don't think the goalkeepers are the big issue.
Which shows how bad.
I don't think they're top keepers in this league, aren't they? But they're not. They're not the trouble at the moment.
They should be good, like mid-table keepers. Like,
I mean, Lovett hasn't performed in a Torquay shirt, especially Playmore has been horrific. Away, he's had a few good performances, but Halstead, very good National League South North keeper. Decent National League, very good number 2 at a bigger team, a better team. So that's my opinion. Danny says, in my opinion, I didn't actually think it's the defence that is a problem as such. I think it's midfield, and that's a good point. But I do believe that the right centre back and right back position was shocking with Marshall and Crowe, but they got no protection half the time. Because when we had Ness there, we were still losing games, and Ness was absolute quality.
Yeah, I mean, we can moan about Crowe. Crowe's not great, is he? I mean, we all know that he's struggling, but we gave him no protection yesterday against their best player.
Yeah,
that is poor planning on our part. We've had a week to look into it. We've watched these teams, haven't we?
So right, Tom. I know we're his away sponsor, so you don't have to protect him all that much.
These are young players, Tom.
Yeah, give us our money back.
We're just making them worse. God.
Oh, he's good. I've always said he's a winger. If he's anything, he's a winger because he can kind of attack a bit. And that goal against Oxford was good.
I don't think he helps himself though. I just think he's just got
positional
awareness about him.
Doesn't know. He was actually having a good first 5-10 minutes into that as well. But what's the point if you're just going to put in your own goal? Schmuffle says, I wanted to select all of them. We have weaknesses right through the team with that exception of marking goal. Notice how you didn't offer the option of management ? Well, that's because you can't do Gary in, Gary out.
We talk about it on a weekly basis, that's why.
Yes, and we are sick of it. What's the point? Anything we say doesn't really matter because there's loads of different layers to it anyway. Torquay fans, hello lads. Anyone not saying sense about it? Do you want to watch Ross March or Ali Omar until March?
Yeah.
3 centre backs on the bench recently. None of them trusted, have we? I mean, how many centre backs can we try and sign? We got to get some good ones, haven't we? It's just poor recruitment.
It's going to be a very important transfer window, isn't it, in January?
I mean, our transfer window's open all year anyway, and we're making a terrible.
Oh yeah, of course,
As Chris said, it's actually February is when we get those loans. But what's the point in loans? It's just like the over season again. You've got enough loans already. Oh, it's bad.
It's still going to be important that we sign players that are going to improve us.
Yeah.
which is difficult enough as it
Obviously.
I
is.
do wonder if D Moxie will be pushed back into centre back when we've got options. If
Oh, it'd be nice to actually have two left
is
backs.
Wyatt
again.
close to
Yeah.
being fit? I mean, if he can slot it back into left back, put Moxie back into centre back, at least you'd have him and Ellis back there. I mean, not got much pace between them, but you can at least rely on them to make the right decisions, can
Yeah.
you? So
Oh,
I do
yeah.
wonder if that happens.
Yeah, I do feel for Mark Ellis. He's trying to do
They
everything
both
at
like
once
playing
at
on
the
the
back,
left-hand
isn't
side of the defence, though, don't they?
he? Yeah, yeah.
They knew our
whatever.
weaknesses, didn't they, Tom? So they were going down that way.
What, football?
Yeah.
Continually. Yep.
Right. Thank you for joining me, you two. Thank you
We're
so
not going to
much.
have predictions for Chippenham or.
Yeah, I don't know. 1-0.
FA Trophy predictions. What a way to finish! Wow.
3-1 Torquay.
3-1. Yeah, I'll say 2-0.
I don't. Are there replays in the FA Trophy?
Depends.
bloody hope
There
not.
is, isn't there, I think?
No, it's extra time. I think you
If
get to
it's-
vote. If Football Manager is true, teams get to vote before whether they want a replay or extra time, like between the two.
I will go 1-1 and we'll lose on penalties. And you know what? I won't give a shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what Chris would choose, but
Oh, I think it'd be all right. I think you have to back your own team, don't you? 2-0. That's my pick.
You can't predict a defeat. 4-2 to the goals. We're on strike tomorrow. Hurrah for the trains.
love you, Chris.
Yeah, I hope you have a good week, Chris. I had a bad day at work today, but I'm sure you've had it worse. Right. Thank you, everyone, for watching and voting. We do really enjoy it, don't we? Yeah.
God, they
Especially
make us
with the-
angry.
yeah.
They make
Give
us
your love-
angry, don't
yeah.
they, Tom?
Give your
They
loved
make us
ones
Yeah.
some
angry.
talky talk match over for Christmas. Go to Galaxy. Treat your whole family. Go down there and then play some pool. So thank you very much. See you on the next episode.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay! Chris Hargreaves, the captain! If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Banyan. Sells!